Hello, my name is the Gaming Critic, where I review video games with no regrets whatsoever. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The big one. The one and only. If you have been watching my Crash Bandicoot reviews, you might have been looking forward to what I have to say about this one. Wrath of Cortex is a game that I wanted to review, but at the same time, I didn't want to review. The reason why I want to review this game is because, well, I already reviewed all these Crash Bandicoot games, so of course I would have to review it. And the reason why I didn't want to review this game is because even though people call this a bad game, there's a lot of people out there that considers Wrath of Cortex as a great game. Some would go far as to say it's the best Crash Bandicoot game of the entire series. Do you guys remember a certain YouTuber called the Stimpy Land? I remember. He reviewed Wrath of Cortex in a full-on, in-depth analysis when most of the video was just taking shots to his haters. Unfortunately for him, it was too much pressure and he decided to leave YouTube. So why am I talking about the Stimpy Land? Well, when I was watching his review, I was really concerned about making this review, because there are indeed a lot of people that like this game. So I decided to man up, grow a pair of balls, and review this game. And I guess whatever happens, only God can judge me. And with that being said, let's review
Crash Bandicoot, the Wrath of Cortex.
Published by Universal Interactive Studios and developed by Traveler's Tales, Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex was released on PlayStation 2 in 2001. It was also released on Xbox and GameCube in 2002. The version I'll be talking about is the PlayStation 2 version, so I won't be comparing the Xbox edition. The story starts with Uka Uka having a team meeting with his fellow villains, stating that their track record for spreading evil has been going down the drain. Cortex reveals that he's been working on an experiment with unbelievable strength, but he is missing a power source. Then Uka Uka suggests the Elementals, full mask that has the power of fire, earth, water, and wind. If they awaken the Elementals, they can harness their powers to bring the secret weapon to life and destroy Crash forever.
Get ready to face my wrath, Crash Bandicoot.
This is a good time to talk about how the game looks. And honestly, it looks like someone made the character models out of clay. It's not one of the best good-looking games out there in my opinion. Aku Aku noticed that something is wrong and contacts Uka Uka to find out what's been happening. We then get introduced to the Elementals, which has a good lineup of voice actors including Ronald Lee Ermey, Thomas F. Wilson, and Mark Hamill. So of course the only way to beat Cortex once again is to collect all the crystals. How did I not see this coming? Cortex then reveals his experiment, named Crunch.
This is the creature who keeps sabotaging your master plan? Ha! You gotta be kidding. I'll exterminate this field rat in no time.
Okay, now we can talk about the gameplay. But first, we have to load up the level. Why is it taking this long to load? It feels a bit odd that the loading screen takes forever just to load up one level. The other Crash Bandicoot games loaded nice and quick, so you can get into the action. But here? This is a serious downgrade. Don't believe me? Well, let's just see how long it takes for this game to load up. 39 seconds? It takes 39 seconds just to load up one level? That is a huge problem. Well, anyway, now we can finally play, and you know what? It's actually not that bad. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either, it's just fine. I mean, it's the same Crash Bandicoot style that I know and hold dearly. It looks like Crash, it feels like Crash, and more importantly, it plays like Crash. However, we are talking about the first level, and we have a long way to go. So, let's talk about the next level, which is a vehicle level. Fan-fucking-tastic. And here, I thought Crash 3 was going overboard with the vehicle levels, but in this game, it has a massive erection for vehicle levels. You have vehicle levels like the car from Jungle Rumble, the submarine and the water levels, screw the water levels by the way, the minecart from Compactor Reactor, this rolly thingy, and I could talk more about the vehicle levels, but you'll probably get bored. Because there are so many vehicle levels, it ruins the concept of what made Crash Bandicoot famous in the first place. The bosses in this game includes Crunch and an elemental mask, Crunch and another elemental mask, Crunch and another elemental mask, and surprise surprise, Crunch and another elemental mask. And the final boss being, of course, Cortex, and Crunch, Uka Uka, and all the elementals. But back onto the last four bosses. Yes, I know that the gameplay is different and all the elemental masks have different powers, but on paper, it's the same bosses as before. The first boss battle took me ages to beat it, probably because you're in this rolly thingy and I haven't even gotten used to the controls yet. The second boss battle really kicked my ass. The third boss battle was not enjoyable, and the fourth boss battle was not that bad, and probably the best boss battle in this game. The boss battles can be challenging, but the elemental characters themselves can be forgettable.
Is there a draft in here?
What happened to Engine, Tiny Tiger, and End Trophy, you may ask? Well, they are in this game, but they are treated as obstacles, which is a letdown for those guys. Oh hey look, Dingo Doll's in this game. In case you're wondering, yeah, it's gonna be a thing. You can also play as Coco for the first time as platforming. Cool as it was, unfortunately, Coco doesn't play like Crash, and some of her levels have vehicle levels anyway. Now, have a look at what I'm about to show you. What you're seeing is not an illusion. Coco is trying to outrun a tsunami on a scooter. Seems legit. I have nothing to complain about the soundtrack. Like I said before, it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either. It's just fine. Like Crash 3, power-ups make a return. While nearly all of them is the same as Crash 3, there's one new power-up for Crash. Are you ready? Are you sure? Because I don't think your heart can contain it. Okay, don't say that I didn't warn you. The first power-up you get from Crash is the ability to walk on nitros. Think about that in your head for a moment. That has got to be the most gimmicky and the most unnecessary power-up in a Crash Bandicoot game. What did I say in my Crash 2 review? They also added nitros. If you touch it, you pretty much get hurt or you die. There's nothing much to say about it, just don't touch it or bad things will happen. And I still stand by it. So I don't care if Crash is tiptoeing, walking, running, crawling, or even doing the doggy. If you touch nitros in any shape or form, it will immediately explode. And don't get started on the, well, if you can't touch nitros, how did they get made in the first place? Because that topic will create some arguments, and it won't even matter. A few hours later, and we get up to the final boss. It feels like Traveler's Tales have gone all out in this boss battle, but it's nothing too special. After you beat Cortex, then you get this cutscene.
Can't you ever let me win? What do you want from me, you cretin? Cortex! You realize that Crash may have collected all the crystals, but he doesn't have the gems. With the gems, we can resurrect the masks one last time and destroy that Bandicoot once and for all.
Oh, yes. Not only you have to get all the gems to get the true ending, but you also have to get relics. Yes. Relics make a return. Now, I've already explained about why I hate relics in my Crash 3 review, so I won't go over it again. But do keep in mind that every single goddamn level has a relic. So, what do I really think about this game? Well, it's actually not that bad. I think one of the reasons why people don't like this game as much as others is because this game was overhyped. Many Crash fans were expecting that Wrath of Cortex could continue the momentum it was already on. Wrath of Cortex was going to be the first Crash Bandicoot game that wasn't developed by Naughty Dog, and to top it all off, it was the first Crash Bandicoot game on the PlayStation 2. So all eyes were on this game, and while it gave us some platforming levels, most of the levels was just vehicle level after vehicle level after another goddamn vehicle level. Whenever it platformed, it becomes a fun experience, but when it doesn't, it's a total failure. I didn't mind the soundtrack and the boss battles were challenging, but everything else was just a disaster in my opinion. So, I said it before, and I'll say it again. It's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either. It's just fine. I've been going back and forth with what score I should give this game, and I think at the end of the day, I think I've given it the score that it rightfully deserves. Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex, gets 5 out of 10. When I give a game like Wrath of Cortex a 5 out of 10, that means if I was to recommend this game to anyone, I'd say, give it a shot. Give this game a try and see if you fit in the category of liking or hating this game. And whatever you decide, I'll respect your decision. I won't judge you for liking this game, and I won't judge you as a person. So I won't waste any more time and talk about the next game I'm going to review. The next game is just like Crash Team Racing, except it's a lot worse. Join me next time as I review Crash Nitro Kart. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe. My name's the Gaming Critic, telling you to keep calm and keep playing video games.
Is there a draft in here?